So first, let's speak about dilution of urine. Uh, what basically is happening is water is in abundance, or you are overhydrating yourself. Uh, how would the kidney react? What do you expect the kidney to do? You want the kidney to excrete this extra water out and retain the solute. Okay, this is an important point. Retaining the solute, because if you let the solute go as well, then you will again add to the hypoosmolarity, which has been created by your increased fluid intake. So you would want to hold on to the solute, but at the same time get rid of the water. Okay, how does it do? It's rather straightforward. This is where this is what we intend to do: reabsorb solute and not allow water to follow. This is the simple thing. And if you see the nephron, this is how it is. It's the PCT is where pretty much things are fixed. You can't do much here. So the isoosmotic reabsorption of water and solute that I have been talking about initially, this is something which is constant and cannot be changed. Okay, it's the thick ascending limb of Leucophenidae, where you can dissect out the solute from the water. This is also called the diluting segment, as mentioned before. And this is where you separate out, you reabsorb sodium chloride into the interstitium, uh, but water cannot follow it like it follows in the PCT. Here, the water cannot follow, and hence what you have is the tubular fluid becomes dilute because you've removed the salt, and now what remains behind is the water. You can also see these values of osmolarity of tubular fluid, that 300 is what is the plasma osmolarity. So when fluid flows out of the proximal convoluted tubule into the loop of Henle, the osmolarity of the tubular fluid is 300. So this is something very important which one needs to be very careful about in the next slides when we are talking about concentration of urine. Anyhow, so this 300 is the osmolarity of fluid when it enters the loop of Henle, and all sorts of things then happen. Water goes out, which again we will talk in detail about in the concentration of urine scenario, because this segment is permeable to water, not to solute. Okay, so water goes out, the concentration of the osmolarity of the tubular fluid increases from 300 to around 600 at the bend of the loop of Henle, because of water being given out and not solute. And in the thin ascending limb, you have some sodium chloride going out. Okay, these are minor bits, or minor mechanisms rather, in dilution of urine scenario. They assume a lot of importance in concentration of urine. So coming to the thick ascending limb, again, as I said, you will pump out the salt, but the water cannot follow because of the anatomy of the epithelium of the segment. So you can imagine now that the 600 became 100. Osmolarity became so diluted because you did not allow water to go out. Now this fluid will then move to the collecting ducts, where it will simply further decrease in its solute content, because you will have seepage of sodium chloride here and in the inner medulla as well. However, since there is no ADH present, so these segments are ADH sensitive, as mentioned before. Since ADH is at a low, because the plasma osmolarity is dilute, and for ADH, as you know, that plasma osmolarity needs to increase for ADH to release. So in this scenario, you don't have that ADH. So water in this urine will just flow out. There is no stimulus for water reabsorption, because this is a low ADH scenario. So overall, you witness that in this nephron, it's not really struggling for anything. It doesn't need to do much. It just does what it does naturally, and each segment is basically doing its job. There is no going out of the way to do anything significant. Thick ascending limb is again the main character here. and so is the collecting duct. Okay, nothing spectacular is happening. It's just the run of the mill, and no, it's simple diuresis. You let go of the water. This is a diagram to just give you an overview of what we've discussed. So the person was made to drink 1 liter of water, and look how his or her osmolarity changes. So extra water, obviously, this is not required. What will it do is it will bring down the osmolarity of the plasma, and the urine will oblige by decreasing its osmolarity even further down, i.e., diluting itself to get rid of the water. The urine flow, as you can see, has increased. However, the urine solute excretion is kept at a bare minimum. Okay, so the point here is dilution of urine is not challenging because you have to let go of the water. You don't need to worry about uh, reabsorbing any water or any solute out of what normally happens in the nephron.